Hey everyone, Crash and Crash Customs, Lake Havasu, Arizona. Check this out. Finally freed up some space on the hoist from customer vehicles to get my dually up on there. I got a small list. If you think that's small, I don't really think it's small. It seems like a lot of things to do yet before I can actually put this on the road. But life is going to be a lot easier doing it on the hoist. I have the wheel tubs ready to prime and paint. I'm gonna prime them with the Evercoat G2 feather fill. That stuff works awesome, and it's durable. It's very durable, and I have it, so I'm gonna use it. I'm going to color code them white, Rust-Oleum, shiny, pure white. I don't want to buy paint code paint just to do the inside of my truck bed that is going to get beat up anyways. So this is going to be great. Rust-Oleum restoration. I don't have to clean the sprayer like I will for the primer. Shake it, spray it. Then the underside, I'm going to use truck bed liner. This stuff, I really like the way it sprays out, the texture it leaves, and it seems very durable, especially for a spray can. Let's do it. Priming is done. I did not do like show car restoration here. There's a couple little dings, but like I said, it's a work truck, the bed I use. Totally happy with how this flowed out. I'll probably scuff this quickly before I spray the white on it, but right now flip it and put the bed liner that I bought inside here. All I did was wire wheel this and air hose it off. Seam sealed, like I said, and spray it, let it ride. Bed liner sprayed in the wheel wells, still wet, but I really like that texture. It took 1.5 cans to do 2 coats and then a light dusting in case you're purchasing it. Now I'm going to flip these, scuff the primer, and just hit it white with some spray can action. Let me show you what I'm trying to achieve here. I am really just sanding out the orange peel. Can you see the difference in the light and dark? The light is sanded, the dark is like the deep part of the orange peel. I'll try it without the light. That's all I'm doing on this. I'm smoothing everything out. Nothing here is like 100% straight for show car paint. Just remember, I'm spraying white Rust-Oleum over this work truck bed. Tubs will get beat up, I guarantee it. On the curves here, I like to rock it, the DA. Don't hold it in one spot because you'll flat side these curves and contours. Overall though, for this, it would not matter. Work truck bed, remember. I'm done DAing these. I did break through in several spots. If this was going to be a show car and I was going to put legit paint on it, I would reprime this. But I'm just shooting Rust-Oleum on it. These little breakthrough spots don't bother me. I am going to have to do some hand sanding in these grooves. I'm just going to use Scotch-Brite pad. And I mean, who would just tear? Like, cut it with the scissors. I don't know. I mean, I do know. I know who would tear this. Somebody that doesn't work here anymore. Anyways, gonna hit the sides low here, these oval spots with Scotch-Brite pad. If it ain't sanded, it ain't gonna stick. So yesterday I started spray canning the wheel tubs, and I don't know. I wasn't gonna say anything or record anything on this, but I have always used Krylon in the past, but the YouTube algorithm was showing me I painted my whole square body with Rust-Oleum. You won't believe it. And then there's a panning of the square body, and you know, it looks decent, right? I mean, I would never paint the outside of any vehicle with spray cans, but like I said, this is just wheel tubs for the inside bed of my work truck that I use. I didn't even fix all the dents, right? So overall, what's it matter except time and efficiency, I guess, of getting a project done? So yesterday I sprayed it, and don't spray with an exhaust system because it sucks the color right out of the can before it even hits what you're spraying. And this says superior coverage and durability. And right now, I'm hoping at least I get the durability out of it, because I think the coverage is lousy. I'm like 4 cans in on 2 wheel tubs, and I can still see blotchiness. But the big thing is, when I sprayed it yesterday on the second coat, I got miscellaneous runs everywhere, right? This ain't my first time putting color on metal or anything, right? And in a shaker can, I've done it since before I could even drive. I've always been solid with Krylon. I think Krylon is super easy to use. Doesn't matter air temperature, speed, distance from what you're spraying, right? So this morning I came in, DA'd my runs out, because I know it's a work truck and who cares, but I don't want to put time in on something and have runs, right? So I sanded out the runs. The other tub sprayed out fine. I'm hitting this one, and again, like, I don't know, maybe I got to turn the light out. Let me turn the light out. Yeah, you can see that. I got a handful of runs in it again. If you want shine, which is what I wanted, it's like you're going to get a run. Because if you don't want to run, you got to hold the can so far back that you're not getting any kind of shine. You're getting so much orange peel, it's irrelevant. So anyways, let's I got to move on here and get this done. And like I said, it's overall it's irrelevant for what I'm doing. But for anyone out there thinking about doing like a quickie spray job on something and you don't want to invest actual can of paint with reducer and you just want to hit something this style, Rust-Oleum isn't gonna like me, but I would buy Krylon. It's way easier to use, way easier to spray. I'm probably making a bigger deal out of this than what I need to. Like I said, I wasn't even gonna say anything, but the second time, and each time I've tried different techniques. I waited longer in between coats, dust the first one. Sometimes when you just dust the first one, the first coat, it tacks up, and having it dusted when you spray the second one, you can actually put like a good coat on and it won't run. But I don't know if you can see this, but I see blotches in it, like 4 coats of color on light gray primer, right? I didn't have black primer on here, just light gray primer. 4 coats of color should cover. And anyways, I'm rambling, who cares? But if you're using paint out of a spray can, I guess I wouldn't recommend Rust-Oleum. Unless maybe if you're shooting like a flat color and you can hold the can really far away and you had a coupon and you didn't have to pay full price. But whatever. Here I am, and tomorrow I'm probably gonna just DA out a few little runs that I got, and yeah, can you see? I don't know. There's some right here too, but I'm overthinking it. I know, but you put the effort in, and you don't want runs. So my recommendation: stick with Krylon. I've always been solid with Krylon. I thought I'd give Rust-Oleum a try again, and still not a fan. Bed floor is sprayed, ready to install the wheel tubs, and for a work truck, it came out great. All I wanted to do was cover up the bare metal, really, and that's what I did. You can see how I hammered and dollied and finished these points, right? I did trim these leaf spring like stops. They when you look straight down, they actually came into the wheel well area, and it made putting in the tubs a little difficult. So really I trimmed off like what, 3/4 of an inch, and if my leaf springs ever collapse, they are still there, front and back, both sides. I don't ever see that happening, but you never know. Anyways, I trimmed it to make room, and the tubs should go in a lot easier. Here too, you can see how things were finished, and it's done. I gotta cut the rubber mat, because obviously this space is narrower. So cut the rubber mat, slide that in, and anything I did here won't matter. You'll never see it. About to put the rear wheels back on for final fitment before I weld in the spring perches permanently. And before that, I just rattle canned everything under here fresh. One of my favorite spray cans right here from Lowe's. Man, it dries super fast, super fast. I like the satin. They make shiny too, but I like satin. Overall, it don't matter because the wheels are so big. Nobody's gonna stick their head in here and look, but I guess you're looking right now. So fresh and clean, put the wheels on. I am calling the inside of the bed done. Remember, it's work truck, right? I just rolled seam seal on the edges of the wheel tubs to the bed floor and to the side of the bed just to keep water out the few times it does rain. You wouldn't believe what I used. It was cheap, it was affordable, it was easy to get. Quick Seal Plus DAP. Yep, that's right. Kitchen and bath. Comes in white. Done. Fold the mat back over and throw some garbage in the back. Moving right along on the dually, spring perches are welded in, backside, front side, and the inside is welded. I have not welded the outside of the spring perches because I'm going to take the wheels off, which is, that's a workout. Them wheels are heavy, but with those off I can get in easier and do a nicer bead of weld. The sway bar is installed, crossbar for the helper bags installed. Obviously the bags are installed, the airlines are hooked up to that. I have shock mounts to do. So got these out of Summit, and I'll mount them up here, and they are within a 1/4 inch of the factory location. Really, I could probably trim some of this contour and make it, you know, 100, but a 1/4 inch is not going to matter on this truck. It is not going to lay out and crush the shocks. Look at that. I should probably, these still work even though they look crusty and rusty, and I'm most likely just going to use them because they work, right? This side though, whenever this truck was lowered, probably back in the 80s when it was new, I'm not exactly sure what they all did. Reverse spring arch. I took out one leaf. They may have taken out more leaves. I'm assuming they did because that doesn't seem like a lot of leaves for a big 4-door dually. But originally this shock was back here. This one is in the factory location, but this bracket that they, I don't know if it was part of a kit, whatever, somebody made it, but one of the mounting bolts sheared off. And if you look at how this really wants to lay, look at the angle of that shock. Can you tell it like angles towards the center of the axle? If you look at this factory one, it angles towards the outside of the vehicle, towards the wheel. So we got some competing issues here. This is correct. This is not. Never noticed it before when I was driving it, but it's not right. So I'm going to unbolt this, probably change this angle so it matches the driver's side. Seems to make sense to me to make them match from side to side. And I'm going to organize that, and then my exhaust that was routed on the outside of the leaf springs needs to come up in here. It's going to be a tight fit, like through here. I don't know. I've been hooking everything up, bolting everything up, and seeing what space is left. And I'm not thinking about the exhaust until everything else is in, and go from there. The helper bags were already previously installed, and like you said, change that shock angle. Man, you can totally tell from back here. Shock angles are they're not right from side to side, but I'm going to fix that next. Let me show you what I did with these brackets. They are, you know, universal shock mount brackets and perfectly squared. Super nice, super heavy duty, and very affordable. So you put them on here, and this is gonna be pretty hard to show you, but obviously, like I said, they're square, right? So they are meant for like a shock that is like 90 degrees, and this shock is not. It's on an angle, right? So that means this is on an angle, and you could probably force it in there. You can see, right? It's on an angle. You can force it in there and use it and blow out the rubber bushing. Or what I did was I took a little bit off of one side of the curve to angle this, and now it is, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, but you can tell, should be able to tell it's on an angle. Let me put it on the bench here. You can compare it to the one I haven't cut yet. So this one I cut, this one I didn't. You can see the inside edge here. I Sharpied it already because I want them to match from side to side. It wasn't much. I maybe 3/16 of an inch. It was pretty easy. Let me show you what I did. These carbide tips. I get these carbide tips from Harbor Freight in a variety pack. They cut super quick, so I use this to get the basic curve, and then just cleaned it up on the top of the belt sander right here. Look at that, contour is freaking perfect. And another Harbor Freight item right here. I've been using it for like at least a year, maybe longer, and it's a workhorse. It's never let me down. If you're fabbing stuff and don't have like a CNC, you cut something with cutoff wheel, you know, super thin cutoff wheel. Depending on how long the piece is, this is just scrap, but you can tell that's probably not like 100% straight. You can just hold it on here, get a nice straight production edge. So this one is ready. I'm just gonna match the other one up while it's on the bench, and I'll have both of them ready to go. It's just a slight modification, wasn't anything complicated, but shock angle so the bushings don't blow out. It's the way to go. So I started modifying this shock mount bracket that was to the frame. The angle was completely wrong. It was angled this way wrong, and it was pitched towards the bed floor. So it was like angled like that towards the bed floor, and you couldn't even get the shock off. I started modifying it, and I'm like, these angles are so wrong. And then I realized that it was actually positioned too far back towards the rear end, and it didn't match the driver's side. The shock wasn't doing a full travel. So I was like, I'm just gonna start over, right? There's no point in messing with this. But I looked in my inventory of miscellaneous brackets and stuff and found these. I'm not sure what they are off of. If I were to guess, maybe Ford truck, because that's the last thing I remember working on. But I don't know, it might be Chevy. We did a bunch of Mustang 2 front ends on Tri-5 Chevy trucks. I might have saved them from that. Anyways, doesn't matter. I didn't have to make a whole new bracket. This is the original of whatever this is from. All I did was have to angle this a little bit, so I just put a slice in there, punched it down, welded it back up, and now I got the correct angle. It's not pitched towards the bed floor. I'll put it in, do the lower shock mount, and I should be moving on from that. Lower shock mounts are both in, fully welded. Upper shock mount is also in, and it looks like it could have been stock that way. Here's the other side, right? Very similar, and it was it was super easy to make it right, but you can tell those shocks are at the same angle, which is how I wanted it. I still have the exhaust to sort out, parking brake to sort out. I'm going to change this airline set up here just a little bit along here, because it's like 1.5 inches away from the rear end. I'd like to get it tucked up tight to the bed floor, just in case I bottom out or have a heavy load and forget to put air in the bags. That's the current plan, but unfortunately I am out of time with the 4-post. I have another customer vehicle I need to get up on there for a transmission swap, so I gotta roll this off, put her back on the ground on the other side of the shop. There's still stuff I can do over there. Front wheels have to be polished. I have to do a wheel alignment on the front, and I still got a list of small things to do. Like, you know, I want to spray things up black that's bare metal, and keep going. I gotta bolt in the exhaust tips so I know how I want the exhaust pipe to run, and there is not much room here at all for doing exhaust. I don't know if I'm going to be able to slide it in through here, both sides, and have it dip down and over. Whatever, I'll figure something out. Let's move it over. It's time for me to change it up a little bit. I'm kind of tired of doing mechanical stuff that nobody sees, and I already polished the rear wheels. I got a video on that with the Renegade polishing system, but I never did my fronts. So that is wet sanded, I think maybe 1,000. It's been so long it's been so long I can't remember how I finished it off, but I'm going to hit it with the buffing wheel and compound and see if I sanded it enough or if I need to tune it up a little bit. But I need to do something visual on the outside, because like I said, I'm tired of being underneath this and doing mechanical stuff, and I love how the polish turned out on these. Time to do these. good to have those polished. I needed that. I needed a little motivation to keep going, some visuals, right? And I think next what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a wheel alignment on this so I can throw my caps and lug covers on. Call it done. I can just look at it done and shiny. This is what I used, Renegade products. I have a video on just that and polishing my rear wheels with that setup. And I mean, looks awesome, don't it? I love that kit. Super easy to use. That is where I'm going to leave this one. I feel like the video is getting kind of long, and I still obviously have more to do. I got a list that seems to never end, because as soon as I cross something off, I add stuff to it. But whatever, that's how it goes. Truck's been on the road since '07. Things are going to be worn out on top of the modifications that I've done to put on the 10 lugs. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll keep giving you weekly content on everything that's happening in the shop. I appreciate it. Thanks.